Good. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, I just very quickly wanted to make sure that everyone can hear me, everyone can see me, and that we're sort of good to go through this live stream. So just let me know that we're all good to go. Just drop a little thumbs up in the chat, everyone, if you can see me, and we will start with this live stream covering how we can use Unreal Engine 5 for the very first time. This is something I am super excited about, and I absolutely cannot wait to get started with that. So let me just see if I can get rid of that echo. So there we go. So how is that? How is the sound? Is everything good to go? Just if one of the mods could just give me a thumbs up, just let me know that the echo has gone now, and then we should be fine. Also, absolutely loving just how many people are in here. That is just absolutely incredible in here. So thank you. I cannot thank you all enough. Okay, yeah, no, I'm seeing the message about the echo. I'm seeing that. I've just made a little change there, so hopefully now it should be pretty good. Okay, perfect, cool, awesome. So let's go ahead and kick off this live stream. So thank you to everyone that has tuned in for this live stream. We've currently got over 120 people watching, which is just phenomenal. It is absolutely incredible the amount of demand that there is out there for Unreal Engine 5. It released today, completely out of the blue, and hopefully today I can help you in that transition in going from Unreal Engine 4 over to Unreal Engine 5. So we're going to be showing you some of the changes to the user interfaces and showing you some of the similarities between the different pieces of software out there as well. So really excited. So unfortunately, what I do need to do first is show you guys how to download Unreal Engine 5 for yourself. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen how to download this for yourself a couple of times already, because everyone's covering it, but everyone wants it. So we'll quickly get it out of the way, and then we'll take a look at some of the changes to Unreal Engine 5. What I'd also like you guys to do is I'd like you guys to share this live stream, subscribe if you haven't already, but let's get the word out there. Let's see how many people we can get watching this live stream. I'm also incredibly close to 200,000 subscribers. Let's see if we can make that happen. To share this live stream, drop it a like if you haven't done so already. But for now, let's go ahead and show you how to download Unreal Engine. So the very first thing that you need to do is you need to go over to the Unreal Engine 5 tab in the Epic Games launcher. So go to Unreal Engine, go to UE5, and then once we're inside of here, we're going to see this brand new space. Now, what we can do inside of here is a couple of different things. First and foremost, we can press the big blue button to download the early access build, which is exciting. We've also then got the source code, and then if we scroll down a little bit more, we can find out a little bit more information about Unreal 5, including some Unreal training on the Unreal Academy, so a little bit of training with the Unreal 5 stuff. But what I'm going to be doing is putting out an absolute ton of content showing you guys how to use Unreal Engine 5. So guys, do stay tuned for that. But what's also worth checking out here is you can actually get a sample project for Unreal Engine to show you just how detailed you can make some of these scenes. So having said that, just feel free to download that. But the most important thing for right now, scroll up to the top, download that early access, and then if you go to your library tab, you should have Unreal Engine 5 grayed out here, but you should be able to just press a big yellow install button. It is quite a big download. I think it's about 100 gigabytes. So having said that, you are going to need to sort of give that maybe like 10, 15, 20 minutes to download, depending on your connection speed. So having said that, what we're going to do then is open it up for the very first time. So if we go ahead and press that big yellow launch button, we are going to be taken over to the Unreal Engine project browser. So give that a couple of seconds to load up. Unreal can take a little while. This version of the engine is definitely much bigger than Unreal 4, so don't worry if it doesn't download straight away. While that is opening up the project browser, I am going to very quickly take you through to the interface in itself, because it's going to take a minute. So you just kind of have to put up with that, unfortunately. I can see a lot of people are thinking, you know, 100 gigabytes, that's a lot. That's an absolute just ton of storage space that is needed. Unfortunately, that is just the direction that the games industry is going. Even things like the like most common video games, some of them, like the latest Call of Duty, for example, that is actually something like 100 gigabytes. So you can expect the same with the engine, and you can expect the same with some of the different project files that you've got there. So do sort of keep that in mind. So what we're going to do then is, first things first, we're just going to take a look at the interface, because the project browser is not opening right now. It is going to take a lot of power to sort of make that happen. So if you can see my screen, you should have something that looks like this. I can see someone said broken in the chat, so I just wanted to make sure that this is still going. Okay, let's take a look. This is still... Okay, cool, awesome. So I can see that that's still going there, which is awesome. So let's take a quick look at this user interface. So first things first, the main thing that we're going to be able to see here is our viewport is absolutely massive. It is nowhere near as big, nowhere near as small as it was before. Now it actually takes up probably about 2/3 or maybe even 3/4 of the screen. It's just absolutely huge here. Now, the reason for that is because they've been spending a lot of time on the user interface and getting something that's a little bit cleaner, a little bit more intuitive, and you can really see that in a lot of the design stuff that has been going on here. So what we can do then is we can actually show you how you can start playing around with this user interface, how you can access it, and most importantly, how you can use it just in the very same way that you would do with Unreal Engine 4. So I think my Unreal Engine 5 has actually crashed there. So what I am going to have to do is just very quickly just restart that, I'm afraid. And that's the trouble with early access stuff. Sometimes it is going to crash. It's just it's just something that you've got to accept. So let me go ahead and open this up. So I'm just going to very quickly open this up again. And then what I should have is, if I launch my Unreal Engine 5.0.0 again, that should open up by itself, hopefully. Let's just give that a couple of seconds. I can also see a couple of people here are saying that Unreal Engine is very laggy to the point where they can't make games. Unfortunately, because this is early access, it is not going to be something that is stable just yet, and you are going to run into some issues. Myself, I have actually been running into issues with this, and I've had to restart the editor a lot of times. Sometimes my frame rate will drop down to sort of 2 or 3 FPS, which is not ideal, but it is going to work a little bit, and you are going to be able to get your hands on with all of this. Question here, have they changed UMG? No, there is currently no changes to UMG. A lot of the stuff inside of Unreal Engine is going to remain exactly the same. Our materials, they're the same. Our AI is the same. Our blueprints are the same. Niagara is the same. What you can really see from Unreal Engine 5 is that it's kind of like Unreal Engine 4.26, but on steroids. It's got loads of new features that are just being added on top of what is there already, but then at the same time, the whole interface has pretty much had a bit of a reskin. So that is something to look forward to. I am just going to try and open up Unreal Engine again here. It's proving to be difficult here, which is not ideal. Okay, so let's give this a go. I don't think this even wants to open at the moment. So what I'm going to do, and you guys might run into some very similar issues with Unreal Engine as well. So I'm just going to restart my Unreal Engine editor there. Okay, let's give it another go. Let's see if we can get this project open again. So in the meantime, while I am trying to get Unreal Engine open again following the little crash there, if you do have any questions on Unreal Engine 5, feel free to sort of drop them in the chat here. I am reading all of these at the minute, and I will get back to you absolutely as soon as I can as well. My Unreal Engine 4 is not, I saw a comment there saying it is open, but unfortunately it just isn't open at the moment. I have looked in there. So that's not a bad shout. I can try open it from the files. So let's give this a go. See if it opens up. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Awesome. The community saves the day. So this should open up in a couple of seconds here, and we can get into the project and we should be good to go. So what is a question here, when is this available? This is available now, guys. If you want to download the Unreal Engine editor, it is something that you can do directly from the Epic Games Marketplace. So there we go, it's finally loading there, so give it a couple of seconds. So what is the feature that you guys are the most excited about in Unreal Engine? I'd really love to hear your opinion on this. Is it the Lumen stuff? Is it the Nanite stuff? What is it that you're excited about Unreal Engine 5 and why? Let me know in the comments. Let's see what you guys are sort of working with here. Question here, does Lumen work with non-RTX cards? Bit of a tough question there. I don't know the exact specifics. I'm pretty sure that it does, but I could be wrong. Myself, I don't actually have an RTX card. I'm using a GTX 970, and I have sort of seen some stuff on that, so give that a go. So let's take a look at a few questions. Just keep putting them in here. So let's take a look. So it looks like my engine's opening up there, which is awesome. And now I've actually got Unreal Engine 5 editor open again. So let's go ahead and break down this user interface. So like I said, for the most part, the interface is pretty much exactly the same. Sorry, my girlfriend started using the printer there while I'm streaming. Anyway, so like I said, the interface for the most part is pretty much the same. I can go in and I can use my viewports, and I can select items. So I can take my light source here, and I can go down to the details panel, and I can start changing all of the same settings that we had in Unreal Engine 4. Now with this, some of these settings are going to be changed, but for the most part, if you know Unreal Engine 4 and you've done some tutorials, you're going to know what all of these are, and they're going to be accessed in the exact same place. What we've also got is our world outliner in the top right here, just underneath my camera. We can see all of our different sources, all of our different actors in the level there, which is quite nice. And then at the top, you can see that you've got a couple of different things in here that is going to be a little bit different. So having said that, let's take a look at that. So the main thing is, left-hand side, the create panel is gone. Now it's focused more on the world, more on the viewport. And if you want to create something, you can actually do this by going to create in the top left-hand corner here. And if you want to create anything like a light or a cinematic or shapes, you can actually do that by just going to create lights, and then I can add in my point light. And then with that, just like before, I can then start moving this backwards, forwards, left, right, and doing absolutely anything that I need to do with that, which is really awesome. So that's pretty much what happened to that create panel. What you can also do is you can even skip between your different modes inside of Unreal Engine. So if you remember before, you had your select mode, which allowed you to create pretty much anything you like. What you also had was your landscape mode, and these are all going to be accessible now up at the top here. So we can actually switch between our select mode, our landscape mode, our foliage mode, our mesh painting mode. We've even got this new fracture editing mode, which is quite nice. And then we've also got our brush editing mode. So a lot of these are going to be exactly the same as Unreal Engine. And if you use some of these, you are going to get that panel back on the left if it is something that is required for that different mode. With the select mode, you just don't need it, so they simply just tuck it away there, which is quite nice. So for the most part here, guys, you can see that there is not going to be much of a learning curve when it comes to transitioning over from Unreal Engine 4 over to Unreal Engine 5. And when I start creating my new quick start guides, where I'm going to be teaching Unreal Engine 5 content, you're going to see that a lot of it is going to be very similar to the stuff that I've done inside of Unreal Engine 4, which is really awesome. So the next thing you might be asking is, how do we get access to our content browser? And we can actually do this by pressing the little button in the bottom here, and we can actually have this pop up or go down. It's now on a drawer, so having said that, we can very quickly get away with it if that is something that you don't want. There is also a keyboard shortcut to pop this up if you want to, and that is Control and Space. And then what I can do is I can hold down Control and Space, and then I can just search for my content just like I would in Unreal Engine 4. And I can take things in here like my golem that I've got, and again I can just drag and drop it into my scene. And notice once I start interacting with that, my content browser goes, it disappears, we're good to go, and we can start working with this. So, having said that, let's go ahead and apply a little bit of a material on there. So I'm going to take my golem material, drag and drop, and just place it on here just like I did before there, which is really nice. That is really awesome. And immediately, having sort of worked with this material in the past, I can see that it is definitely rendering out a lot nicer than it did in Unreal Engine 4. And to be honest, there's not really any changes to that. If I was to go ahead and open up my material editor here, just by double clicking on my material, it's going to open it up, and you're going to notice the interface is very similar to the one that you guys are familiar with inside of Unreal Engine 4. A quick question here that I've got is it possible to open up an Unreal Engine 4 project in Unreal Engine 5? Absolutely, it definitely is. This project of mine is actually something I created in Unreal Engine 4, and I've opened up in Unreal Engine 5, and it just worked straight out of the box. And everything from my materials is working here, all of my references is working, and I can even open up the levels, the very same levels that I created before in the old version of my project. So I can just go up to File, Open Level, and then I can go up to my test level that I was working in before. And again, notice the interface is exactly the same as it was in Unreal Engine 4. There is 250 people watching, so if you don't want your face on the stream, stay there. Anyway, cool. So, again, going into my level, I know that this is exactly the same as it was in Unreal Engine 5. And again, I've got all of those exact same settings and actors, and everything is laid out in the same way as it was for Unreal Engine 4. I've had someone here say that It literally looks like Unreal Engine 4 with a new UI. Absolutely, it is very much like Unreal Engine 4 on steroids, except there is a whole bunch of new features inside of this that you can have a little play around with as well. But for the most part, you can see some of the normal rendering and stuff here is all going to be exactly the same. So let's go ahead and take a look at a few things then. So one of the main things that we want to look at then is our blueprints. Let's take a look to see if those have changed. So we're just going to open up our content drawer by holding down Control and then spacebar. And then we're just going to right click and we are going to create a new blueprint class in the exact same way that we did in Unreal Engine 4. So I've got all of the same types here, so I can go to Actor, and I can just give this a name, Blueprint Test. And then I can just go ahead and open this up. Give this a couple of seconds here, and again, the interface, very similar to what it is inside of Unreal Engine 4. So we have got our components on the left here, then we've got our variables and our functions also on the left underneath, and then we've got our details on the right. Mind you, they're just a little bit clearer with this new UI that we've got. And if I wanted to, I can go up and add new components to this. So let's say I wanted to put in a little mesh into here. So what I can do is add in a static mesh. There's nothing in here currently, so I'm then going to set my static mesh to the type golem, or even a cube that we've got here. So we're just going to give this a couple of seconds, and we can see we've got our cube. I can then also add in other components if I want to, but I'm just going to go to the event graph for now. What we're then going to do is take a look and notice it's still a node-based system. It's still visual scripting. So having said that, what I can do is I can actually take things like my cube. So take my static mesh, and let's say on event begin play, I wanted to run a little delay of say 2 seconds, and I can do that. And then let's say I wanted to take this static mesh and set the visibility. I can go ahead and do that as well. Really awesome. And I can set this to true or false, and we're good to go. So let's say I wanted to make this disappear after 2 seconds. I can go ahead and compile this. I can then Control and space, take this, drop it into my scene, and then if I go ahead and press play here, it's going to take a second, but after those 2 seconds that we just had there, my cube is going to disappear, which is really awesome. So let's go ahead and just put this up here, somewhere that we can see our cube, press play, take a look at that, 2 seconds later, disappeared. So having said that, it's nice to know that a lot of the functionality that we had here is going to be exactly the same. Now, one thing I did want to mention is I'm not going to be covering Lumen and Nanite and that kind of stuff in this live stream because, frankly, my computer isn't able to sort of run it that great at the moment. I have ordered a brand new graphics card, so in a couple of days we will be showcasing all of that. So what I wanted to do in this very quick live stream here is to sort of simply showcase what the user interface looks like and sort of how easily you can transition from Unreal Engine 4 over to Unreal Engine 5. So that is something that is really, really exciting. Currently got 2 instances of Unreal open there, so that is pretty cool. So let's take a look at another couple of things. So let's say we want to take a look at our model that we've created here. If we open up our static mesh viewer, so just double click on any of these, what we can then do is see that we've got a few things. Our interface, for the most part, is just going to be backwards in here. Usually your details are on the right here, but instead it's a little bit different. So I can see here we've got the asset details. Again, I can change these. I've got my asset, and I can see my triangles on the top left But with Nanite, what I know we can do is we can actually push that to something like 20, 30,000 triangles if that is something that we wanted to do. So you can have a little play around with that if that's something that you wanted to do. Really, really awesome. What I have been trying to do is I've been trying to get the valley. So what they have is a valley of the ancient demo. I've been trying to get that to go onto my computer, but unfortunately I've just not got enough free space on there, which is just an absolute shame, if I'm honest. So I've had a couple of questions here, and that is, you know, how do you create a project, or how do you take an existing project and move it over to Unreal Engine 5? So let's go ahead and do just that. So if I open up my Unreal Engine 5, you're going to be taken to the Unreal Engine project browser, which now looks like this. It is going to be very different to what you're used to before. So we can just go to recent projects in the top left hand corner and open up a project that we've been working on. I've got a couple in here, one of which is Embervein, which is a game that I'm working on. And let's say I wanted to take this and put it onto Unreal Engine 5. All I have to do is select this, press open, and then you can open a copy. And just like you were switching between Unreal Engine versions in Unreal Engine 4, so for example, Unreal Engine 4.25 to 4.26, it's going to switch over in the exact same way, and for the most part, you're not really going to get many broken references. You might have one or two little problems, but nothing major. So just consider the difficulty of changing those projects to being the same as going from Unreal Engine 4 versions. But anyway, we've got our projects. We can open up one of these if that's something that we wanted to do. We've also got our templates on the left hand side here. So if I go to the games, you can see I've got my templates that we had just like before. We have got this new puzzle template that we didn't have before, which is quite nice. But again, you can use all of this stuff to start working on your game. You can also choose all your settings down here for this, so target platform, starter content, C++, you can do all of that down here. What's also worth you guys taking a look into is our film, video, and live event stuff down on the side here. This can do some awesome stuff for you, such as like DMX controls and virtual production. Then you've got your ArcViz stuff, such as this, which is going to give you some nice little content that you can work with. And we're going to open up one of these in just a second. And then we've also got all of our automotive stuff down there as well. The one that I'm actually going to open up here is my ArcViz, and I'm just going to create a project with that template there. So we're going to give this a couple of seconds. It's probably going to take a minute or two to load up, but most importantly, you guys are going to be able to sort of see all of this. I've got a question here. Or not a question, a statement. Luke's streaming from his bedroom. Nope, I'm not. This is my office. It is just a ever so slightly different view of it. If we go over there, you can see I have got my nice, beautiful fireplace and my lights and my drone and all that cool stuff. It's just a bit of a different angle because I've been working from home a lot recently and I want a bit of sunlight from the light over there. So a couple more questions. Let's just sort of take a look at some of these while Unreal Engine 5 is loading here. Have you had a chance to test the new IK? I have seen quite a lot of content around it and I have dabbled. So it's definitely something that is worth taking a look at. But that's what I can say so far from it. If that is something that you want some bespoke training content on, guys, just let me know. I'm really open to suggestions at the moment as to what kind of Unreal Engine stuff it is that you want. Another question here, how do I switch from Unreal 4 to 5? Do I need to uninstall? Nope, all you need to do, go into that marketplace, go into the editor or the Epic Games launcher, go to the Unreal Engine 5 tab, and then from there you're pretty much good to go if you download that. Let's see what else we've got here. Should we expect better performance with VR titles using Unreal Engine 5? Absolutely. Using the power of Nanite, for example, you're going to be able to get really high detail models in there without having an absolutely massive performance cost. So yes, you absolutely can. Ultimately, though, it is still going to be down to the asset creators to create something that is relatively optimized. So do just go ahead and keep that in mind. Let's take a look at another couple of questions. What about MetaHuman? MetaHuman is compatible with Unreal Engine 5, so it is something that is going to be able to work straight out of the box. Another question here is there any additional blueprint functions? Not that I know of right now. Another question here is, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. Someone's saying they want to see they want to see Ember Vein, the game I'm working on inside of Unreal Engine 5. Not going to show you that right now, as we're sort of working towards some really big teasers and that kind of stuff. So let's take a little look. So let's take a look, see if there's any other questions that we've got here. We've just got absolutely loads, so I'm just trying to choose. But I've not, there's loads of questions here, I'm just trying to choose the best ones from here. So let's take a look. Oh, that's awesome. Getting a couple compliments here, that's quite nice. I've noticed a couple of people said I'm using my webcam microphone. That's not ideal, so I will have to take a look at that. Rendering is so quick in Unreal Engine 5 is something that someone's just said. I don't sort of agree or disagree with that statement. Unreal Engine is a real-time a real-time graphics engine, which means you're not really doing rendering. Well, you are, but it's real-time, so it's not like you're trying to render out a specific image or anything like that. So yeah, in terms of the performance and the FPS and that kind of stuff, Unreal Engine 5 out of the box is going to be a little bit slower, simply because there is all of those extra overheads on top of this. So having said that, you are going to have to run all of that new stuff on top of the current sort of real-time rendering stuff that you've been doing. But when it comes to larger scenes, more realistic scenes, once Nanite has kicked in and you've got all of the performance bonuses from that, you are going to have better rendering times with that. Really awesome. So let's see if there is any other stuff. So, do you have any courses regarding 3D person movement? That is something that I will be covering in Unreal Engine 5. Now that it has been released in early preview, we are going to be kickstarting with an absolute ton of new content. That's going to be everything from animation to some blueprints, and even sort of breaking down the user interface again, if that's something that you guys are looking at. Have you tested any other version plugins? Unfortunately, from what I know so far, plugins that are built for Unreal Engine 4.26, they do not work inside of Unreal Engine 5. So having said that, if you want to make a commercial project or anything like that, then you are just going to have to accept that you need to use Unreal Engine 4.26 for now. Unreal Engine 5 is still in early access. It's not stable and it's not ready to build a game in. So just don't. Unreal Engine 5 and the early access right now, it's all about it's all about sort of having the opportunity to get hands-on and giving Epic the opportunity to get some feedback, improve, and see how people take it, and sort of make changes and grow the software as they can. Is shader compiling improved at all? As you can see down here, it's still got to compile those shaders. So it is something that you are just going to have to live with, I'm afraid. But in terms of how well the materials are rendered and the shaders are rendered, I definitely say there is a small quality increase in terms of sort of how well all of this is going to look. So that's something for you guys to keep in mind. So if you want something that's going to look really nice out of the box, then by all means take a look at that. So I've got a couple more questions here that we've already answered, so I'm not really going to go into those. I know this hands-on stuff has sort of turned into more of a Q&A because that's what people are really interested in. But I've already sort of showed off just how simple it is to use Unreal Engine 5 right now. When will MetaHumans be released? I don't know the answer to that question. I'm not on the MetaHumans team or project in any way, but you can use the early access stuff for now if that is something that you're interested in. What are some of the criticisms you've had for feedback to Epic and Unreal Engine dev team? I wouldn't really say I've got any criticisms for them. I think they're doing an absolutely tremendous job with all of the Unreal Engine stuff. I just wish we was able to sort of show it off a little bit sooner. So for now, I'm actually going to be wrapping up this live stream. We have answered loads and loads of questions, and we're going to be doing more like this, proper dedicated Q&As. Once I have got all of the projects open, like the sample projects, I'm going to be able to show you how to use Lumen, how to use Nanite, and even sort of getting hands-on with some of the other new features and tools in Unreal Engine 5. So for now, that is me wrapping up this live stream. I hope you have enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you do share it. But for now, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening. But for now, guys, stay awesome, keep creating. Virtus signing out. But